What's going on, guys? Today we got average Irish guy reacts to a British guy versus American refrigerators. So I'm a very average, typical Irish person, I suppose you'd call me, living in Galway in Ireland, for my whole life. And I know that the refrigerators here, we just call them fridges, are super different than the American and Canadian fridges. Okay, so the Irish fridges are super skinny. Same with the British fridges. I was in England a good few times. My friend's fridge is a skinny thing, tall, skinny, and it doesn't really hold that much food or doesn't really freeze anything that well. Whereas American refrigerators are crazy. We actually have a refrigerating company in Ireland, in Galway, called, I think it's called like Freeze or Deep Freeze, something like that. And one of my friends from town, her dad runs the company, and he's like half American or lives in America or whatever. So crazy deep freeze, like air conditioning type systems. This one should be wild, guys. I don't know what to expect because I've never actually seen a fridge in America, just in Canada. My girlfriend's fridge was absolutely massive. It was this big fat fridge, which kind of typical to the people, I guess. Everyone is like 500 pounds, which is class. A lot of gluttony, a lot of wealth there. So it's like 500 pounds, people and fridge, right? Fridge is like 500 pounds, heavy as well. So absolutely craziness, completely different than anything in Ireland. So let's get straight to it, guys. Let's see exactly what American refrigerators are like.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to kitchen appliances. And you may remember 47 years ago, in the winter of last year, I did a video titled 5 Ways That British and American Kitchens Are Very Different. And to this day, that video remains one of the greatest videos in the history of YouTube. And those aren't my words. Those are my mum's words. But despite this, there was one crucial element that was frozen out of the video: refrigerators. And so consider this video an addendum to that video. But of course, I'm in my studio. We can't very well have a hands-on video about refrigerators because I don't have one in here yet. So team, let's put everything down and follow me. Yeah, I've been in the studio for about 2 weeks, so it's good to get out of there and do sort of more relatable content, while I walk to the other wing of my house. And 3 hours later, I've made it to the kitchen. On my left is the refrigerator. Please ignore the picture of the red London bus. I'm a bit lazy and haven't put it up yet. I'm not going to show you the rest of the kitchen right now because the camera lies and you might get the impression that we haven't done dishes because we haven't done dishes. But in the immortal words of Sir Winston Churchill, let's look at the fridge. And I know what you're thinking, he never said that, but in our defence, we were working on 2 scripts at the same time and they merged. This is the fridge, a good old American fridge, or should I say, a freezer on top of a fridge. It is a mess inside. I just want to show you something that's inside my freezer that you won't find in most British freezers. So it's a special ice making machine inside the freezer, and as you can see from this, you can either set it to automatic or not.
Well, we have those in Ireland as well. Jesus, we're not that archaic in Europe. Like, we're 30 years behind the Americans. It's not exactly how it is. For some things it is. But for refrigerators, guys, we have that thing where you push, you have your little glass and you push the glass against the front of the fridge and then your ice cubes come out. I never had that personally in my house. That was for rich people that I lived beside. But yeah, that was an amazing thing growing up. I love that little, freezer, fridge thing. So pretty cool, guys. We do have that in Ireland, though. I'm just saying.
Let me tell you, this is the first time that my wife and I have been living alone together and we've had one of these. And when I'm sitting alone in the living room at midnight doing, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, and that thing goes off, it scares the bejesus out of you. It starts making a mechanical sound accompanied by banging, so it's not dissimilar to the sound of thieves. But I have to say, with summer on the horizon, I am excited to use this to make iced tea and to simultaneously avoid all of the angry comments from British people. And if you've been watching this channel now for a while, you'll know that this ice making machine is very much in line with America's obsession with ice cubes. Famously, Britain hasn't really embraced ice cubes like America has, even in hot summer months, so thank goodness they embraced air conditioning. But there's one other reason that American freezers are more likely to be equipped with ice making machines.
I will say one thing, guys. When I was in Canada, it was like 40 degrees. They love ice cubes. I had a glass. I went to, it was like called like Lone Star Grill. It was like an American, like Texas something, right? Big, whatever. I literally got a glass and I was looking, I was like, let me get the watermelon. I love watermelon or sweet tea. Let me get the, southern sweet tea watermelon drink, yeah? They put the glass down in front of me. The ice was to here. It was to here, guys, okay? And the water was like this much. It was just ridiculous. They're obsessed with ice in North America.
And it has to do with size. As is a common theme on this channel, everything is much bigger in the United States, and that includes this refrigerator.
Massive.
Just like the state of Alaska, it's been proven that this thing is 7 times larger than the UK. To be clear, this is just the freezer. There's a whole bigger section down below that's the main fridge. And on a side note, everybody now knows I do my videos in my pyjama bottoms. In Britain, fridges of this height do exist, but like accurate Winston Churchill quotes, they are rare. In fact, my experience...
This British guy is obsessed with Winston Churchill, and that's exactly the refrigerator that looked like at my girlfriend's house in Canada, guys. In Canada, they have these huge fridges, massive. Everything was just huge. I couldn't understand why everything was so big. It's kind of unbelievable when you go there why everything is so massive. It just doesn't make any sense, right?
Experience growing up, and that of many other British people, is that the fridge is so low down that it fits under the kitchen counter. This might be accompanied by a frankly tiny freezer, in which you have room for a bag of frozen chips, a box of haddock, and some chalk ices, but then what more do you need? And I know what you're thinking, ooh, Lawrence, why the disparity in size? And it's because the pandemic has been unkind to my waistline. Oops, I've just remembered we're still talking about fridges.
Hey, Lawrence, if you want some workout plans lost in the pond, just hit me up, man. I'm only like 100 miles away from you, you know, in Ireland or whatever. Hit me up for fitness plans, bro.
Well, there's a few reasons for this. Firstly, Americans tend to buy in bulk more than British people do. In fact, when I first moved here, I was stunned to find that people routinely brought home 25 bags of shopping in just their boot trunk. Additionally, it's worth pointing out that Americans are more likely to store things like bread in the freezer, taking up space that Brits are less likely to use in this manner. In Britain, our fridge-freezer combinations are typically smaller because, number one, we buy in smaller quantities, though admittedly on a more frequent basis, and number two, Britain doesn't have freedom, and so...
Yeah, that's true. Britain doesn't have freedom. And they took Irish freedom as well. They wanted more freedom, which, you know what I mean? I don't blame them. But now we got it back, so we're good to go. But no, in all seriousness, guys, when I went to, you know, grocery shopping in Canada, they would just buy for a year worth of shopping. I go shopping, you know, once every 2 days here in Ireland, guys. I buy a little bit of things every 2 days. I go shopping.
At this point, let's head back to the studio so that I can discuss one final but crucial point. I don't know, just put it with the other letters from Churchill's estate. So I want to finish this video by talking to you about 2 words: deep freezers. We've all seen them. It's those freezers that you find in the vegetable section of some supermarkets, where you open up the lid and the food comes up and down as opposed to in and out. I mean, it can still go in and out, but as opposed to a regular fridge which can't go up and down. Anyway, in the UK, the only time I saw one of these, in addition to the supermarket, was in my shared university campus kitchen. And the most enduring memory I have of that is I once put my jeans in it, and I haven't spoken to my dorm mates since. But in the US, I've noticed that deep freezers, particularly in larger family homes, do often crop up in people's kitchens, in addition to the type of fridge freezer that you just saw. And I suppose it can be hard to imagine why anyone would want to freeze that much food.
Well, it's actually funny that he says that, because I personally bought a deep freezing refrigerator for like €170 back when I was 18 years old, because I used to freeze all my meats, right? No homo. And I used to buy a ton of meat at once. I used to buy a whole cow and then freeze it. You know, that's how dedicated I was to bodybuilding, guys. I was obsessed. And I still do that to this day. I still buy the meats and I put them in the refrigerator, the deep freezer, because my normal fridge freezer is too small. So you can still buy those in Ireland. And a lot of people in Ireland do have those, actually.
But not only do Americans buy in bulk more, when there's not a pandemic going on, they have housewarming parties, graduation parties, Thanksgiving, basically any excuse to have the whole family around every week. To fridges. That's it for this episode. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok at @TheLawrenceBrown, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that my video...
Alright guys, go check him out, man. That's Lawrence Brown, the quirky guy that I just watched the video from. Absolutely legendary. Refrigerators 100% are different, guys. They're completely different here than in America. I was shocked to see it. I love you guys all, man, and I'll see you all in the next video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.